left. Playing under Kesha, it is Opos. And spawning in the top right, as the blue Terran, it is EJK.
Alright. I'm
Are you
back. I
back?
can hear you now.
Excellent.
And Susan is here as well.
Oh, hello, Susan.
Okay,
Can she
dark
hear me?
Glasses.
Yes,
Aha.
she can.
Susan, good evening.
Is it evening? Yeah, it is, I guess so.
Oh, yeah, it's evening for us, too. I was just assuming because evening in Europe. But yeah, we got 5 p.m. here. That's basically exactly evening, right?
That sounds like evening to me.
Guess it depends on your perspective.
Answers on a postcard. When is evening? So we've seen a number of games on this map already today, and it seems to be a typical Reaper map, which it looks like EJK is going to be going for. Just the one barracks, so command center to follow.
Yep, Susan's favorite build, the Reaper Expand.
It's not my favorite build, it's just what I always ask, because I always do it.
Okay, definitely the most common build in pretty much every matchup.
On the other side, I think it was a pretty standard opening for Kesha or Opos. Which name do you want to stick with, by the way?
Let's go with Kesha because I know how to pronounce it.
Fair enough. So Kesha, opening with the standard speed lane double queen. Presumably 4 lanes to follow.
Yeah, it probably will be that to help push back that Reaper.
Yeah, and I think just the key really is just before speed finishes, just stay on creep. Basically, whatever you do, don't chase the thing, or else you're going to have a bad time.
Oh, might get a drone though.
Yeah, very good start there for this Reaper. He could escape up that ramp, but he's actually just going to turn tail and GG already called by Kesha.
Well, yeah, two drones lost to the single Reaper. That is not where you want to be.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong return for the Terran players opening. But, he is going to continue. The Reaper will live to fight another day as well. Don't think any more lings were forced out for Kesha, excuse me.
Yeah, just sticking with those initial few, tearing down that little rock platform.
Getting that creep, just another step out will be the next step really in defending that solidly if you're not going to make a few more units.
Going for a fairly quick third.
That's
I like it.
It's quite greedy, I would say, and it was scouted immediately. But I suppose you have to look at then what is EJK's avenues really to try and counter it? Well, he's going to make up a lot of Hellions by the looks of things.
Yeah, Hellions could be a pretty decent answer to this because it'll probably be a speed lane based defense.
Yeah, I don't think Kesha really has the economy to support any kind of switch to Roaches this early on, or certainly not Ravagers.
Yeah.
So Hellions are going to be a pretty good choice. And actually, we're going to see Blue Flame as well being added onto these Roaches and a Cyclone. So this is going to be some pretty tight mech play coming out of the Terran.
Yeah, we do have that double factory Blue Flame, the stem of mech.
I like that.
This could be a pretty big deal. Really, it depends if Kesha can get a scout off on this because like if you don't really, well, I suppose seeing that many Hellions, you probably have a bit of an idea that they're going mech. But if you don't know, they have 2 completely different responses, right? So. Oh, did I not mute you during the break? My bad.
Nope. No, it's alright. I just sounded helpless and lost, but that's okay. So it's a very solid number of queens actually to hold off the initial push of the 4 Blue Flame Hellions and the Cyclone. That is not going to be a problem, and they won't really have much of an opportunity to break down the destructible rocks either, so I think for now this will just be pushed back. 5 queens actually now standing at the top of this ramp. The injecting queens were pulled away from their hatcheries. Such was his concern at the mech army that's pushing the way up, and good transfuse there to keep the third queen alive. But
Will eventually go down though.
nothing on the Terran side has really been killed yet either. Just a bit of a ding on the Cyclone, but everything else still fully intact. And we have a hatchery missing an injection. The medevac
Ooh.
has dropped in 4 Blue Flame Hellions onto that main, and there is nothing in there to defend. The roaches are just popping out now, but a number of drones were definitely lost to that one. 2 of them even getting away on that medevac, and dropped onto the third for even more damage. There's more aggression also on the natural coming from the original 4 Hellions, and there's just so much of a loss there for the Zerg player here.
25 to 46 workers. And like when
Yeah.
when you're behind in economy versus the mech player, that's
Yeah, this is going to be pretty brutal, and I think this is game-ending damage really by EJK. He doesn't want to push up that ramp though, because now there are 7 roaches bunched up together there to push back these Hellions.
I mean,
Keep them away.
for Kesha, do you just have to go for like a Roach Ravager push here?
I mean, I guess he's up to
Try and time it
38
with a
workers
1-1.
versus 50. He's on 3 bases. I don't really see him catching the mech player over a long term.
It would have to be over like a very long term, right? And then somehow
Yeah,
deny the maxed mech army push out timing or something. But it's gonna be a hard bargain.
yeah, there's a second wave of mech aggression coming in the meantime. Then he has to fend off a Liberator to make his way towards the main. There's more Hellions going into the mineral line of the natural, and more damage being done on the Zerg player already. Liberator has also taken complete command of the third mineral line. Hellions continuing to do damage.
Very harassment based mech army.
It's lovely to watch as we see once again Kesha is dipping to 30 workers. That Hellion, or sorry, that Liberator won't be cleared up anytime soon either, I don't think, because there's still a Hellion commanding the Queen's attention in the main.
Yeah, and there's just not really a good area. Okay, well now that it creeps forward a little bit, you can use that spore to deny it, as well as just like any queens that are in the area. But where it is right now, like if you siege that up, you can deny a few patches, and really like the only thing that's gonna hurt you in that position is Ravagers, maybe a queen. Remove that Liberator though.
Nope, that is going to be sacked completely. It does pick up, I think, 3 or 4 more kills in the process, which I think EJK will be pretty happy to take. The avenue really for Kesha now, I think, has to be some kind of aggression, because sitting back isn't doing the job. He does need to find something that will, at the very least, give him the opportunity to last until a further late game, like you described. The Terran player has just gotten up to 3 bases, sensor tower, mules being dropped, plenty of siege tags here in defense. Very solid situation for EJK.
In a very difficult position to defend, to attack into. Such good defense.
Yeah. So a big number of Hellions making their way up the left side of the map to, at the very least, clear up the creep. Probably going to look to roast a few more drones in the natural.
Yeah, they're gonna get past these roaches, splitting off some into
Oh,
the
no.
natural, some into the main.
Those drones were not in the ideal position there to dodge any kind of blue flame attack. So more drones continue to fall. EJK has taken a 26 worker lead at the moment. There's still a Liberator owning those mineral patches on the third.
The funny thing is, like, Kesha just drones up out of it every time. Like, never really that far behind in drones, but just because of that, can't ever spend a larva on units. So like,
Yeah.
except queens. So then the next harassment squad just does even more damage because there's nothing to defend it.
Yeah, you're totally right, and I think kind of brute forcing just restarting every single time and not allowing himself to be forced into the counterattack has worked out fairly well, because he has lasted in this game pretty respectably for some time now. What's going to be the next phase of aggression, really, for the Terran players? The question: we've got a large number of Liberations. Actually, he's going to just call it quits because he knows he just can't attack into that Terran base at any point, really. So that's GG, and EJK is going to take the game.
Yeah, that was basically an impossible situation to come back from.
Yeah, I think he basically got his first look at just how impregnable that Terran base was. That had to be it.
This game.
Yep. They already finished game 1 before we got there, though. So I'm trying to find out what the score is now. Okay, 2-0 now for EJK.
So I guess we're into the finals.
Well, the finals of the semifinals.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because this one is the best of 5.
Oh, we are playing a best of 5. I get you.
Yep. Yeah, EJK just needs to win one more game. We didn't get to see the first one, but that was a pretty, dominant position he had in the second one. Of course, both of these players, both very strong, rocking those Grandmaster borders.
Yeah, I know I've seen plenty from EJK before, but I don't really think I know Kesha too well.
No, I actually don't either. Definitely a strong player, but doesn't quite have that name recognition.
Not yet, but I mean, GM, so obviously not the place to mess about. So it's pretty awesome to see EJK bring the mech here in this this tournament. And I'm going to guess that he will be going for it once again. This map is inviting for the late game, but would you like to start our introductions?
Susan? No. Okay. In the top left we have our radioactive red Zerg player. It is Kesha. I'm not as good at the name game as Susan.
In the bottom right, the sky blue. That wasn't great. It is EJK. It's a tough thing to make up a color on the spot.
Yeah.
I don't think we appreciate that about Susan's casting enough.
It's way more difficult than you would expect until you try it.
Yeah, like, sky blue, radioactive red. But yeah, Susan's ones are on point. Those are solid colors.
I believe that the closest person to match Susan in the color names metagame would be Jack Attack. Jack Attack pretty good at keeping up.
He's a pretty creative bloke. In the game, though, we see 2 proxy barracks from EJK, so not immediately looking to follow up with the mech. Kesha has taken the gold base. That is a risky thing versus Terran. As we were saying with Harstam earlier, your mineral there is so exposed with the various different Terran units that can just basically brutalize you over a cliff.
Yeah, Liberators, tanks, even these Reapers.
Yeah.
Can...
There's many different options. I mean, there's like a small crevice that you can't use with that bridge in front of the gold mineral line, but other than that, I mean, you could have 2 tanks and a Liberator just ruin that mineral line in a heartbeat. EJK's gone up to 3 barracks though, proxied very short distance away, and the Reapers are already on the way.
That's about as all in as you can get with this. Pretty
much. I mean, if he gets like a moderate amount of damage, he could transition back into mech, just float them, who cares, wherever he doesn't need them anyway. The first Reaper is coming in, and there's a bunker being built at the top of the ramp. He's caught out a number of drones there in a very desperate position for the Zerg player on the transition to the gold base, and this is already significant damage for the Zerg.
Yeah, and that's actually a very meta play. The Reapers do get there right as the transfer over to the gold is made, and if you can't turn your drones into buildings, and you don't have a queen out, you don't have any wings out, like, how do you defend against the Reaper?
Yeah.
Protoss, dude. God.
And I think
That's
we've also
true.
just seen another vulnerability, really, of taking the gold base first versus turn on this map, is that your Zerglings, your Queens, your drones, they're off creep for so long, and Zerglings off creep against Reapers is a completely hopeless case.
I actually
And
can't
so,
believe this bunker got up. I gave that up for dead because I thought the SCV was
yeah,
never going to get it.
and it was totally scouted. Kesha, I don't think, has prepared himself too well for this early Reaper aggression, and those drones are 100% dead.
This game is basically over. I just
Yeah.
gotta say.
Yeah.
Like, look how many workers went down. There's not enough money to make, like, a roach anymore. There's, like, what, 3 on the way?
You can just
This many
kill that with
Reapers
these-
can take on that many, whatchamajiggers, roaches.
Oh, Kesha, I think he's just realized the dire nature of the situation. I mean,
GG!
GG for sure. Taking that gold base versus Terran is not a solid decision.